Welcome to Cascades Gardens. The garden is 4 acres of perennial flowers, shrubs and trees. It's taken 24 years to develop from a waste piece of land. The entrance cabin is for the nursery and the garden. It's also a place to shelter from any rain, to have a cup of tea and homemade cake. An acre of woodland takes you up the hillside to the top of the cliff. A great view from the top of the cliff, looking across into the farm. Right in the centre of the picture is an old window of Study Lodge from 1929, covered in ivy. And a really good view down towards the house. A view of the mill pond and the garden around seat 10. Paths wind down to the house. A pleasant walk along the mill race with the perennial borders on the left, Lysomachia in the foreground and the end of the delphiniums. In midsummer, the pond becomes choked with reeds, but Andromeda still stands proud in the central pathway. Across the main perennial bed, you can see the bright colours of the berberis. On the right hand side, the Chinese lime and lots of phlox and flowering hosta. From the mill race, looking down into the garden, you can see Acer Crimson King and Acer Drummondii. Across to Fern Bank, where you can walk along with a handrail, and towards the house. From the copse, you can look down to the central lawn, and in front of you you have Catalpa, Bignonides, Cladicea trees, and the top of the Japanese pot garden. Here we have the Japanese pot garden, acers, cryptomerias and pine. On the shady side of the garden we have a seat by the statue of Pan, surrounded by hostas, hellebores, thalictrum and brunnera. We have a wide range of hostas, and you can see here in the background the statue of Pan. The conifer rockery has the statue of Bacchus in the centre, but of course also has junipers, Chamaecyparis lawsonii and other conifers. The conifers continue round to the base of the steps that lead up to Fern Bank. We're trying to encourage birds to our new bird table. The roses are beginning to go over the metal arbour in front of the hut here, and on the left we have Cornus alternifolia, or the wedding cake tree. Tucked in a corner at the bottom of the cliff is our meditation spot, seat number 5, dripping water coming down the rock face and 3 little pools of water. A very peaceful spot to sit and relax, be quiet, just listen to the trickle of the water. Halfway up the hillside, looking out onto the garden, we have a Metsosequoia glyptostroboides, a bright yellow one on the right of the picture, and looking down to the greenhouse and the conifer garden. Looking down towards seat 7, you can just see the miscanthus grass enjoying the water and hear the trickle of the water through the tufa arch. At the base of the cliff we have a rockery, but the valerian seems to be taking over. It seems to enjoy the sunny cliff face. A long path back to the house, alongside the stream. Gunnera manicata is enjoying the moisture, as is the petesite, but you can see lethrum, astilbe, daylily and lots of other plants. Approaching seat 10, a lot of flowers, roses, lethrum, a young poplar tree and hydrangea paniculata. Looking up from seat 9, with the 200-year-old yews in the background, a little Catalpa bignonides, a bright yellow one on the left-hand side. Spikes of Persicaria firetail and tall stems of buddleia ready to come into flower. The courtyard around our cafe, surrounded by all the plants in the nursery. From the top of Fern Bank, you can look down onto what used to be a quarry. It's the central garden. Over the roof of the Cascades house, you can see the other cottages in the village. And from here, this is possibly the best view looking up the garden.